Mixed martial arts is a relatively young sport not only in Kazakhstan but also around the world. This type of fight is very close to us, the Kazakhs, the people who have protected their land since ancient times using various techniques of fisticuffs and forced combat. Currently, the number of fans of mixed martial arts is growing all over the world. There are about 100 types of martial arts. The most popular in Kazakhstan are the American UFC and Russian M1. The most famous in the world today are the men who perform within UFC, Khabib Nurmagamedov and Conor McGregor. When they enter the ring, they defeat any opponent. Now our Shavkat Rakhmonov is also a formidable opponent for many fighters. Mixed martial artist Shavkat Rakhmanov became the first Kazakhstani athlete to sign a contract with the UFC. Domestic fighters have never achieved this status. That is why Rakhmanov's achievement is an important milestone in the history of Kazakhstan mixed martial arts.
Алғашқы әлем чемпионатына 2013 міне Shavkat, Сергей Морозов, Дәурен Ермеков, сондай мықты.
At the first World Championship in 2013, along with Shavkat, such strong athletes as Sergei Morozov and Dauren Yermekov also performed. Now they are MMA professionals. And then they also showed very good results, became owners of belts in their categories. In general, it should be noted that in Europe, the strongest athletes who won the GFC Fight Night belts are our fighters, athletes from Kazakhstan.
One Global Fight Night'ın GFC'nin boyusu Kazakhstan'da hazır. Kazakhstan'ın jigitlerinde, sporçularında.
Only the strongest fighters compete in the UFC. This is a merciless battle of real heroes. You don't choose an opponent here, but you fight the one who fell to you by drawing lots, says Shavkat Rakhmonov. We don't choose our opponents, we don't have a choice. We are fighting with the one who fell to us. You never know who your next opponent will be. To date, a lot is unknown. The debut of Shavkat in the UFC has not yet been announced. He does not know who he will fight against in which country. What is well known is that Kazakhstan will be represented in this type of martial arts. This is a feature of the UFC. No one knows their opponent to the last and should be ready to fight with anyone.
Бойынша ең мықты организация UFC, ең танымал, ең
The most powerful organization in the world is the UFC, the most famous, authoritative, and most expensive. And of course, every athlete dreams of competing in the UFC.
Сол жерде шығам деп сондай армандар әрбір спортшыда сондай арман.
I will never represent another country. If I am offered this, I can only represent Kazakhstan until the end. I'm not interested in other countries. It is not by chance that Shavkat talks about the possibility of representing other countries. After all, he's an ethnic Kazakh, was born and raised in Uzbekistan, but returned to his historical homeland in 2010. Apparently, it was so pleasing to Allah that I came to Kazakhstan and raised the flag of Kazakhstan. After all, I always thought that I would stay in Uzbekistan, where I was born and raised. Shavkat probably did not fully understand the meaning of the concepts of independence and freedom, because when he came back here, he was still a young man. His parents first moved to Karaganda. When we moved to Karaganda, we first worked in the market because you can't find a good job right away. I had to start with the work of a loader, a seller, engaged in hard physical labor. He never avoided hard work. It was probably those moments in his life that helped him become what he is now, what rivals in M1 global fear. When I arrived in Kazakhstan, I studied languages for the first 4 to 5 months, got used to it a bit, and then just started training. At first, during training, I didn't understand what they were saying because I didn't know either Kazakh or Russian because I studied Uzbek at school. If Shavkat feels that he does not know something, he immediately tries to correct the shortcomings because he is used to setting goals and achieving them. Our family has a mother, 2 brothers and a sister. We can say that we are also close to sports. We haven't been living with our father for about 7, 8 or 10 years. I don't remember exactly. My older brother trained and taught me how to fight back in Uzbekistan. He wrestled in public in various fights in Uzbekistan. At that time we went out to fight with a great interest, a desire to win, and since then I dreamed of becoming a great wrestler. I dreamed of the time to go out in public again and win. Shavkat has been interested in sports since childhood. This passion constantly pushed him forward, and as an adult he became even more serious about sports. Yes, I was born in Uzbekistan. I was engaged in Uzbek wrestling. I was engaged in boxing, Thai boxing. I participated in various wrestling competitions, was also interested in football and everything that I was good at. When I was a child, I was very strong. From then on, I began to dream of a championship. Shavkat chose martial arts for himself. He was inspired by stories of brave ancestors, warriors who defended his country and land in their time.
Боецтерге өте бай ел деп айтуға болады. Өйткені қанымызда
Kazakhstan is rich in warriors because we are descendants of the Batars. A new generation of fighters is growing. Among them we can mention Zhalgaz Zhumagulov from Aktobe, Jasulan Rahimjan from the capital. I really hope that they have a lot of victories ahead of them.
Бағы ашылып, ойлаймыз, үлкен турнирларда көретін, жеңістерін көретін боламыз деп ойлаймыз.
In the days of my childhood were famous names such as Fyodor Yemelyanenko. When I watched the discs with their fights, I was interested in how they fought, how they trained, their techniques. These were my first idols. Shavkat, who has previously idolized the founder of the Russian MMA community and multiple world champion Fyodor Yemelyanenko, has now become an idol for many. There are many young athletes who want to be like him, Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Shavkat менің батырым десек те болады. Мен Shavkat'ты телевизордан, YouTube'дан көрем.
Shavkat is my hero. I watch Shavkat on TV and on YouTube. I really like his professionalism and how he is growing. I see that he's mostly winning, raises the flag of Kazakhstan up. I see how he trained. I really want to be like him, become an athlete like him.
Тамаша, қызықтап тұрамын. Мен өскенде Shavkat сияқты күшті батыр болғым келеді.
шынын айтсам, мен енді Өзбекстан тұрған кезімде сол кездері андай DVD.
When I was in Uzbekistan, I had these DVDs. I watched them fight in a cage, and I thought, that's what I want to do. Now I do this sport myself, and now I know that only after carefully studying all the methods and techniques of combat, you can successfully fight in the ring, in the cage, in the stalls, and in the stands. Today, Shavkat's main dream has come true. He's one of the most popular sports communities in the world, the UFC. Although the modern form of mixed martial arts has only recently become known in our country, we still have many athletes who fight on octagonal grounds. Most of them protect the country's honor by signing contracts with well-known promoters. This shows that we have a strong school. We only need to develop and improve it. We have people who are a good example for our sports community, and there are young people who want to do this sport. I think that all this inspires young athletes to repeat the professional achievements of their older generation. The head coach of the Republic of Kazakhstan mixed martial arts team is Bayan Jangalov. In 2013, he moved Shavkat from Karaganda to Kokshetau. We can say that he took him under his wing, educates and trains his students.
Жақсы бір үлкен спортшы болғым келеді. Бұдан да биіктерге көтеріліп, Қазақстан туын көтергім келеді. Соның үшін келдім мен мына жаққа негізінде.
Now I want to become one of the great athletes, achieve better results to raise the flag of Kazakhstan more than once. It's not very easy for me right now, and I don't know where I'm going. I trust my coach, and I think that in order to win again and again, I will train hard and make every effort to raise the flag of my homeland again. This is my main goal.
Басқа қалаларда тұруға тура келуі мүмкін. Енді Қазақстанның туын көтеру мен бірінші мақсатым.
One of the main goals for the future for Shavkat is a successful fight in the UFC. Now he's preparing for it, carefully following the instructions of the coach, sets goals and goes to them every day, eventually achieving them.
В обычном режиме мы работаем с Shavkatом, если у нас идет подготовительный период.
We work with Shavkat in an ordinary regime. Preparations are in full swing. We train 3 times a day. The first training session in the morning is gymnastics, running a certain distance and a certain speed. 40 to 50 minutes of running training. The second training session starts at 11 o'clock. There, we pick up speed and gaining strength. We also study combat techniques.
Скоростную работу, скоростно-силовую работу совершенствуем, работаем над техникой.
Mixed martial arts is a new direction that is becoming popular in Kazakhstan. It is gratifying that the state also pays sufficient attention to the development of this sport, and many young athletes receive support. An example of this is the success of Shavkat Rakhmonov. If at the time Shavkat was not recruited as an athlete, he wouldn't have had ample opportunities. It is possible that Shavkat would have continued working as a loader. After all, the guy, despite his abilities, had to earn for a living. The young athlete himself admits this.
Қазақстанға оқитын білімді балдар керек. Біздің бала шағамыз.
Kazakhstan needs educated and capable children. They are our future. Let them study and get an education. We didn't have this opportunity at the time. Let the young people learn and develop our country. They should have a great future in an economically strong and free state. I don't know what my children will become. The main thing is that they learn, develop their abilities and talents.
Уақыт келеді, көреміз, қандай неге таланты бар екенін қараймыз. Әрине біз шапқанды күтеміз, сондай үлкен жеңістер күтеміз. Әрине бұл спорттың болашағы біздің
Of course, we look forward to new great victories of Shavkat. This sport has a great future in our country. The national team of Kazakhstan is one of the strongest in MMA since 2013, and so far we have never lost or surrendered our positions.
Оның ішінде мысалы 2013 жылды осы жылға дейін үштен төмен түспейміз.
In general, mixed martial arts in Kazakhstan are developing very dynamically today. Shavkat Rakhmonov also put a lot of effort into this. He's young and does not stop there, continues to develop and improve. This is the sincere desire of a citizen who was born in another country, but after returning to the native land of his ancestors, contributing to the prosperity of his country, attracts a large number of fans, and many of them are trying to continue and build on his success. Currently, there are about 12,000 athletes in Kazakhstan who are engaged in mixed martial arts in almost all regions of our country.
Развивают именно это направление.
The Federation is developing especially this area. About 12,000 people are involved in MMA. Mixed martial arts can only be practiced from a certain age. In Kazakhstan, it can be only done from 14, 15, 16, 17 years. The technique for fighting for adults is more specific. Currently, some mechanisms of mixed martial arts are being discussed. Now we have a youth group from 18 to 20 years old. The World Cup and the Asian Championship have already started. Therefore, this year we agreed with the Federation's leadership and approved the youth team for the World Cup. Shavkat Rakhmonov held 12 fights in mixed martial arts, and all of them ended prematurely. The Kazakh athlete did not give his rivals a chance at M1 Global. His devastating blow will now be particularly felt by UFC members. An agreement was reached with the American organization for a year and a half. During this time, he must conduct 4 fights. If Shavkat Rakhmonov wins, his contract will be extended, and he will have a chance to compete with the strongest athletes.
Сезімге шыққанда, мен шыққанда бірінші орында отбасым ойлаймын, отаным ойлаймын, сол маған қарап тұрған.
When I go out to fight, my first thought is about my family and my parents. I imagine they look at me. It helps me, and I can't lose. A very close people look at me, so I do my best to fight as best as I can. We don't just go into the ring. We go out to win. The first opponent of Shavkat Rakhmonov in the UFC will be known only 8 weeks before the start of the tournament. Prior to that, the fighter in mixed martial arts will continue their training abroad with his coach. Now, the goal is not to miss a minute of valuable time, constantly train. After all, the honor of Kazakhstan should be presented with dignity. But in any case, Shavkat Rakhmonov's performance within this UFC is a significant event in the history of Kazakhstan.